Thank you. Good morning to everybody. So I have seen I'm coming with my bag. It's not because it's the end of a trip. It's because it's the beginning of a journey, a new journey for me, a new journey as well for Airbus with this recent creation of a new function, which is innovation. So I'm the Chief Innovation Officer. I've been there for only 4 weeks now, so don't expect me to say a long story about what I've done during these first 4 weeks. You may imagine that I've been spending a lot of time on defining the missions, creating the team, and I will come back on this bag at the end of my talk. You will see. Why innovation at Airbus? Chris has properly described that we've been innovating for 4 decades, and this is how we became what we are now. The story of Airbus is clearly a story of innovation, technology innovation on products. I will not come back on all of the things which were developed all over those 40 years. Obviously, the most recent developments are on the 350 with the all composite airframe structures. On the 380, sometimes we forget that this aircraft was the first one with the central wing box, a composite central wing box. Back in the past, on the 320, it was the first commercial aircraft with a full fly-by-wire system. So this is how we build the success over the years. So the question is again, as we've been so innovative during the years and these years, and this was the reason of our success, what should be done more? Well, in fact, times are changing. There are changes coming from the outside, from the pressure coming from environment aspects. Even if the carbon footprint of the aircraft industry is small compared to other industries, we know that it's something that we have to take care of. Together with that, the fuel costs are going up and down, and we know that when they are going up, it has an immediate impact on the profitability of the airlines, of our customers. Profitability is obviously something which we need to look at. So it's profitability of our business globally, including the profitability of the airlines. So it has to do with what Chris was mentioning about the total direct operating costs. But there are also, obviously, there are newcomers in the competition. The competition is really fierce. But there are things also which are directly addressing people. It's passengers. So the expectations of passengers for the complete transport are changing. We have more and more passengers, but their expectations are more and more important. In the past, it was just fun to fly in an aircraft. Now, flying is something which is normal, and you're expecting a certain level of comfort from your own door until the door of the place you're going to. And the expectation of the employees are also changing. We speak about the Y generation, so new people are entering into the company. And when they enter into our business, they have in mind the pioneers. So they come to us because they want to develop new things. They want to work in a company which is really always at the edge of the development of new things. And obviously, when I started 30 years ago, I worked on the development of the 320. It was small teams. Everybody was knowing everybody. This was a nice part of the game. We were challengers, so there were a lot of ideas being put on the table. And at the same time, we were not, at that time, selling a lot, and we were not delivering a lot. Now this company is delivering more than 500 aircraft every year, and we are developing a lot of new products. We have to maintain those products. So obviously, we need very robust processes, and we have 60,000 people on board. So how to also develop the motivation, keep the motivation of everybody in the company, how to keep this dream of being pioneers in that domain alive, when you are now in a different context with regard to the production. So this is why Fabrice has insisted on two things. First, obviously, innovation is the art of Airbus. It's within the genes of the company, and it's absolutely fundamental to continue to be at the top, to continue to be profitable, and to grow the sales. But we need to take into account those evolutions in the expectations, and we need to keep a certain agility to remain at this position. And this is why we need to change the culture, change the mindset everywhere in the company to make sure that everybody, every day, is delivering the maximum, is coming with new ideas, and those new ideas are supported by the organization and brought to the products for the benefits of our customers. So the role of my new organization is to foster innovation in what we do. So encourage new ideas and implement them. Innovation is nothing until it's used. Steve Jobs was saying that innovation is nothing until it's shipped. So it's exactly the same. It's not about developing ideas, it's about bringing new ideas onto the products for the benefit of our customers and for the benefit of the company. It's value for the business, clearly. It's also fostering innovation in how we do things, so being more agile, bringing faster new ideas on the products. So it's about simplicity, it's about speed, it's about agility, reacting fast to any evolution of the trend, of the demand. And it's also fostering innovation on who is doing it. So it's about everybody, the 60,000 people in the company contributing to this innovation. So it's really a change program addressing the culture of the company and the mindset. And so the idea is really to have a transversal network spread over the company to do it. This is, I believe, something which is unique in the way we will implement that in our industry. So main missions of my team, first, setting the scene. So it's not innovation for the sake of innovation, it's innovation for business. So the first target of the team is to translate the two high-level targets, growth and profitability, into very specific targets for innovation. So for every function, for every team in the company, what does it mean being innovative to reach those targets of growth and profitability? Second mission will be to implement this network I was talking about, to make sure that everybody everywhere is contributing. And the third point in this setting up the scene mission will be to offer to the teams method, tools, and support to develop the ideas from the original requirement in terms of how we want to achieve an improvement somewhere until it's implemented. With regard to the cultural aspects, the creation of the network will contribute to it, and it will contribute to really impulse innovation everywhere. Everywhere inside the organization, but also in connection with our suppliers. This is a key point. We also want to address the way we are working with our partners, industrial partners, in the extended enterprise. So it's not only, it's the story of Airbus, but Airbus seen as an extended enterprise. It is about changing the culture, it's about making sure that the targets set to the different team leaders are consistent with the overall target of embedding innovation everywhere in the culture. So it has to become something natural, it has to become something rewarded on a daily basis to make sure that people feel comfortable in bringing their ideas to the table. And it's also about not always looking inside, but also opening our teams, opening the company to the outside. So working with other industries. Obviously, first working with the other parts of EADS. You know, in my previous job, I was the head of EADS Innovation Work, so I was very much focused on technology innovation. So Innovation Works is obviously part of this network that we want to develop outside the perimeter of Airbus, but it's much larger than that. It's also about working with small and medium enterprises. It's about doing things with startups. Important mission. If we stay with what I was describing before, we will not see the results. Maybe the results on the mindset, but if we do not have tangible results at a point, it will be difficult to maintain the mindset. So it's going live, fostering ID generation. So we have already some tools existing to capture IDs from the teams. But in some domains, it's also about generating IDs with new ways of working, in particular, making sure that the different teams are working together. You know, there is a very high pressure coming from the fact that our business has grown very, very fast. And we need to find ways to have people also looking outside, looking at their neighbors, and working on a transversal way throughout the teams. Going live means also that we obviously cannot take all IDs on board. I've been nominated 4 weeks ago. I've already received a lot of IDs. Those IDs first need to be in line with the strategic objectives that we are currently defining. And we will have to prioritize them and qualify them. Some IDs may be implemented very fast because I would say it's a no-brainer. There is something which can be improved. It does not need a lot of money to be developed and tested, so let's do it. And there will be a principle of subsidiarity, so everything which can be done locally should be done locally. But for some other innovations, obviously, impacting the products, the product policy, impacting the way we are marketing our products, impacting the way we are manufacturing the products, so with links with the industrial tools as well. This will require more investment, and this will require higher level decision making, and for that we are creating an innovation board, which will be in fact people from the executive committee of Airbus or people appointed by the members of the executive committee, but having a real decision making capability. And obviously the last part of the going live would be to support the implementation of the best ideas, best in the sense of value delivered to the business, to make sure that we have really a monitoring of the process end-to-end, from the idea to the introduction on the plane or in the shops. So how will it work? There will be a very simple lean process, enabling fast and sound decision-making and quick implementation. You see, starting with ID generation, qualification, screening of IDs. So based on the simple things like feasibility, impact, time horizon. Then for the one requiring some business case assessment. And then the decision gates. The third decision gate is the most important one, because it's there that you need to have a commitment from the team having the idea to deliver at the end of the day, but also from the complete organization to support the development and the implementation of the ID at the end when it is validated. So this gate will be a very important one. And then we have already started developing some rapid prototyping means, so there will be a phase of maturation, prototyping, and then validation and implementation. What is new and important is the fact that we will try to go much faster in every part of it. So the new function will be also challenging the way we are working today for making decisions, but not only for making decisions, also for developing, for prototyping ideas and for validating them. So it's about working together, and it's about working together between the different functions. So there is a lot to be done between engineering, manufacturing, the product, policies, the programs, and so on. Again, because of the high pressure of the daily business, it's something which is less natural than it should be. And we have to really work on that to bring people together and work in cross-functional teams. It's really a key point to go fast. We have already started implementing what we call sprint. It's a new way of working where you are bringing together during 100 days people from different functions with a clear target. I can tell you I've seen the first results of it. It's very, very efficient. So we will have a small core team, 20-25 people managing the complete process, but with a network of people inside the functions. Overall, I cannot say today how many people will be directly involved in that. The small team will be, the core team will be small, but we will have a transversal network being implemented with so people relaying the process very well. And this will be international as well. Being global is very important as well. Chris was showing the areas in the world where things are, where the business is developing, so we need to also to be present, to capture the ideas, to understand what is the business there, and to use also the ways of working in those regions which are developing fast. Last point, we will have to measure what we do. So we will define indicators to measure the success. Overall, the success will be the business impact. The overall measure of the success will be the business impact. But also, as I was mentioning, it's a change program with regard to culture. So the commitment, the engagement of our people, so the positive impact of this new way of working on the motivation of people will be also something key to be measured. It's a continuous process, so it's not something that we will do during 3 months and that's good. Let's go for it. It will be a continuous process. So we will permanently change what we do, even in the team, and not even firstly in the team, to make sure that we are really on a continuous improvement mode and learning mode. What will be the benefits? So the first benefits will be obviously for the customers, bringing new ideas on the products themselves to the business. The business is also the profitability of our company. And this can be achieved as we were doing in the past, so with the development of technologies, new products and so on, but it's also finding ways to introduce very rapidly things which are easy to introduce and which really correspond to a value for the airline. The scope is about technologies, it's about solutions, it's about problem solving, but it's also ways of working. So it's also thinking about new business models. We'll see some examples just after about that. It's about our processes, manufacturing processes, but it's also decision-making processes, ways of working everywhere in the company. And at the end of the day, as I was saying, it's about changing the culture, more engagement from our people, and it's linked to lean as well. Less resources wasted in bureaucracy and things like that. This is absolutely key to continue to boost our profitability and our growth. So I will now go to some examples of that, which they are just there to illustrate what we can do in terms of way of working. You may, so some are directly connected to the product. You will see that one at least is aside the mainstream. But it's mostly to show you different ways of working, what it means, different ways of working. So, smarter fleets, the first one is directly delivering value for the customers. And the idea there is to benefit from the development in the domain of big data. You know that we are using and generating a lot of data around the aircraft for the management, the maintenance of the fleet and so on. There are a lot of technical data which are collected every day on all the aircraft. And smarter fleet is something that we do teaming with IBM using analytics to see how we can use those data and how we can use the new technologies in the domain of big data to provide information to the airlines to better manage their fleet, better manage the maintenance operations and things like that. So it's an example of Airbus working with an external company on a new technology which was not specifically developed for our business, how to adapt this technology to our business and make value to the airlines. The second one, ROPS, it's a runway overrun prevention system. This is directly connected to the product. It's something that we are offering to the airlines that are already being deployed on 77% of the 380 fleet, and we have American Airlines as a launch customer for the 320. So this system is delivering additional safety, so it's to prevent runway overrun, as it's in the title, and it's based on a simple modification of the software on an existing component on the aircraft. So we are modifying the software adaptation of an equipment. And it has been developed very fast with the support of one of the equipment suppliers. And but we had to find a business model for it because it's about safety. So it was about the question of Chris: how can we translate this into additional value? So in that case, what is original as well is the business model behind. So the additional cost of the equipment is compensated by a reduction in the insurance premium paid by the company. So it was a way to finance this additional feature, which is adding safety on the aircraft. And it's logical at the end of the day, obviously, and because if you improve safety, then it has a positive impact on the insurance companies. Another domain which is impacting indirectly, but might impact directly as well, our business, meaning the airlines and others, is smart baggage. And I will now move to
the reinvention of baggage. Discover the ease of flying with Airbus Bag2Go. Just pack and fly. The first smart baggage that you can simply control from your pocket. A digitally enabled bag that can weigh contents, communicate with the airport check-in and security, and is fully traceable, letting you enjoy a self-travelling baggage transport experience. Airbus Bag2Go, a cross-industry innovation with T-Systems and Remova. What makes Airbus Bag2Go so unique? Airbus Bag2Go helps you pack, check and transport your baggage, reducing the most stressful elements of modern air travel. Whether travelling for business or pleasure, Airbus Bag2Go gives you comfort and control. No uncertainties, no overweight surprises, no manipulation. Instantly locate your bag at the press of a button, giving you peace of mind that your baggage is secure and safely on its way. With Airbus Bag2Go, you gain easy access to advanced baggage mobility services, keeping you free from waiting, towing and stowing your baggage. Just travel light with handy cabin baggage. How do I use Airbus Bag2Go? Firstly, register with Airbus Bag2Go. Simply load the Airbus Bag2Go app or go online and register. Getting your Airbus Bag2Go couldn't be easier. Simply purchase your bags or order via the Airbus Bag2Go app. Baggage rules and restrictions can be confusing. The Airbus Bag2Go app is there to assist you when you pack. Need more space? Additional bags can be rented at the press of a button. Monitor your overall weight as you pack with Airbus Bag2Go's handy weight indicator. When you finish packing, scan the QR code with the Airbus Bag2Go app to synchronize your bag with your inventory. Your bag is now sealed and ready for instant electronic labeling by your airline. For your convenience, choose from your airline's available baggage transport services, or choose from Airbus Bag2Go's alternative transport options. Why do you love Airbus Bag2Go? Airbus Bag2Go takes the burden out of your baggage. Airbus Bag2Go helps you pack your bags, giving you all the information you need, so you don't actually get caught out by rules and weight regulations at the check-in desk. Airbus Bag2Go's electronic labelling saves you time at the airport. Just drop your bag and proceed directly to the gate. Monitor the actual loading status and location of your bag at any time. Get immediate notification if your bag is opened or manipulated. With Airbus Bag2Go, you gain access to a new world of advanced baggage mobility services. Having your bags delivered gives you the freedom to take the train or even cycle to the airport. Directly proceed to the gate, giving you time to enjoy a cup of coffee or the airport shops. Upon arrival, don't lose time at the baggage claim or lost baggage counter. Directly proceed to where you want to go, while your bag is safely delivered to your preferred target location. Say goodbye to the usual stressful boarding situation, the congested aisles and jam-packed overhead bins. Instead, just travel light with small handy cabin baggage, and having real-time assurance your bag has been safely loaded to the aircraft. Airbus Bag2Go, making you move like never before. Creating new standards together. Airbus Bag2Go. Just pack and fly.
If you're traveling a lot like I do, probably this will make you dream. Just a precision. This is not available, so don't come to me at the end of the day to buy one. It's something which has been developed very rapidly with Remova, which is a bag producer and T-system, because it's also about connection. But this is also this is innovation. This is innovation for the overall business, because the business is coming from passengers. So it's an example of things that we can do to improve globally the business. And I was saying it may have an impact as well indirectly on us, because you know that today the manipulation of bags is really a pain, and I will not say it's a pain well. It's a pain, and it's we have 2.5 million bags mishandled every year, and this is representing something like $2.6 billion loss every year. So it's a real serious thing. And when you are a passenger, it's even more serious when you have not your bag when arriving. So it's really, you know that there is a competition on short distances between also aircraft and trains, so there are economical factors that we can put in front to explain why aircraft is better, but clearly the seen by the passenger, the manipulation of bags is something which is important to be addressed. The last example I would like to talk about is more for employees and partners. So it's about changing ways of working and addressing the cultural aspect. It's a development of agile, collaborative working space. So agile is at the same time what we want to achieve, agility, but it's also the name of a method. A method which is bringing together in the same space people from different horizons, and they are doing brainstorming and rapid prototyping. And the idea is really to rapid prototype very fast thing that you can put on the table. So the idea is coming from the Fab Lab from MIT. It has been used widely in other industrial sectors, mostly in the IT sector. So the idea is that you convince more easily your boss or the customer when you have the possibility to put something on the table, as I did with the bag, that's way. Showing something concrete helps. It helps to convince, it helps also to rapidly see where are the difficulties. So the idea of agile, the agile principle, and those collaborative rooms, which are open to also external partners, to suppliers. So the idea is to have quick loops on the development, so using rapid prototyping techniques to optimize rapidly a solution. So it's about, again, with those examples, innovation in what we do and how we do it and who does it. The three topics are properly addressed. So these are simple examples, but obviously I could come with other examples. And this is really what we want to push through the complete organization. What's on the horizon? So as I was saying, I just arrived 4 weeks ago. There were some elementary things already existing. Obviously, this was not developed since I was there. These were things which were developed during the last months by people who are really strongly motivated in innovation. So there was basically the business nursery and the innovation cell which were already existing. So I will work with those people because they are very motivated, and the target is really to spread what they are doing, the method of working and so on, throughout the complete organization. With regard to the next steps, the team should be really working, implementing in July, and we'll have the first innovation build in September. There are already a few important topics on my table. And just say to you, see you next time, not to present what I want to do, but to present what we have done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yann, for this presentation.